When I addressed the Oslo Freedom Forum in Oslo, I said, our sacrifices aren't just for us, they're for you. My presence here in another foreign country, so close to home, yet so far, serves as a reminder how true that is. Hong Kongers continue to sacrifice. We are scattered to the four corners of the earth, wherever governments are willing to receive us. Our home has been made inhospitable. Some of us are finding it very tough to make our way in foreign countries. Some of us found themselves refused sanctuary and sent back. I myself tried to make my way in Germany. The language, the infamous German bureaucracy, the food, the cars driving in the other direction are all very unfamiliar and difficult to get used to. The casual and systematic racism I encountered made me feel unwelcomed, as if I'll forever be a foreigner to Germany, no matter how long I've lived there. I sometimes wonder if what they say is true, that ignorance is bliss. Those who have never lived under an authoritarian regime won't have to understand what it means, and those of us who struggle to relate. For some of us, even the question, "How are you?" is loaded and uncomfortable. For a while, I tried to be genuine and honest. I once responded, "I'm terrible. Half of my friends are in jail." Not exactly the kind of dinner conversation my hosts were hoping for. But jokes aside, try it. Invitations will tend to dry up. Or when it's Christmas, and your friends are complaining about having to go home to see their parents, and you can't help but be secretly jealous about it. Or when think tanks and politicians tell you that Hong Kong is now a lost cause, unless it turns into another Singapore, as if my city is just a money-generating tool instead of my home, I can't help but feel bitter about it. The new regime in Hong Kong has crushed our freedoms, our lives, the life we could have had, the choices we could have made. It has denied us of our agency. A denial of agency. If there is a lens through which you can understand much of the modern Hong Kong history, it would be that. Agency is the capacity to decide for oneself and to be held responsible for it. Through various occupations, Hong Kongers' voices have been stifled again and again. Through British rule, and now forcefully through the brutality of the Chinese Communist Party puppets in Hong Kong, we are silenced. Disturbingly, this trend is set to continue unless we fight for agency as we make our way in foreign lands. But too many Hong Kongers feel as if they're guests in another country. Too many feel uncomfortable taking ownership of the civic entitlements. Too many feel as if expressing their needs is somehow disrespectful towards their new hosts, temporary guests in someone else's home. Again, a denial of agency. But curiously, it doesn't come from any external authority, but from Hong Kongers themselves. It's as if generations of subjugations have taught us that we don't deserve a voice. This is false and dangerous. And if there is to be true integration in the third wave of the Hong Kong liberation movement, we must own our movement and own our voice. If it's not too presumptuous to say, I think there is an analogy with Taiwan. For many countries, Taiwan is a political football. So rarely are the Taiwanese people being consulted about what they want. We hear so much about Taiwan being a pawn in a clash of superpowers, but we hear nothing about Taiwanese self-determination. I think the struggle Hong Kongers now face is similar to the struggle the people of Taiwan face, a struggle for respect and agency, a struggle for voice, a struggle to be heard, not just spoken for. We are people united in a fight for respect and agency. We cannot allow ourselves to be dehumanized, turned into geopolitical chess pieces. We are people united in a fight for agency and self-determination. This is something we all have in common, because the fight for Hong Kongers and the people of Taiwan to be heard is your struggle too. Yes, a struggle for voice and humanity. Yes, a struggle against authoritarianism, but beyond all, a struggle for voice and humanity. Our message to the world should be, do you care about the Hong Kongers or what Hong Kong represents in your ideological struggle? Do you care about the Taiwanese people or what Taiwan represents? For Hong Kongers and Taiwanese, we are fighting to be able to ask ourselves something so simple, yet for us so elusive. What do we want? I want to reiterate something I said when I had the privilege to address this forum. When asking you to stand with us, I said, press your governments to stand with those who held an umbrella into a wind of tear gas. Allow me to extend that today. Press your governments to stand with those whose home just happens to be on the fault line of two incompatible ways of life. Small things like reminding us when tax is due, where to set up our electricity bill, walk us through the system, and fight us when it's mid-autumn or New Year. Small things like these would make such a difference to us. Or when homesick become unbearable, keep us company. Or keep us company when we invite you to join us in a rally. And while you are standing with us, please respect our voices and the choices we make. Respect our agency. And perhaps over time, we will learn to respect it too.